Hello friends, here is Block 1 Unit 3 of mpc003. The important question here is methods of personality assessment. There are four methods for personality assessment. First one is interview, second one is projective techniques, third one is association technique, and fourth one is expressive technique. First one is interviews. In interviews, there are questions that include the questions which are structured and unstructured questions. The limitation of the interview is prejudice, halo effect, and halo effect. Halo effect means favorable or unfavorable impression towards someone without knowing it well. Next, second technique is the projective techniques. That is a technique which reveals unconscious mind. It is helpful to reveal hidden personality issues. Example, word association test. Word association test is an example for projective technique. So it is helpful to reveal the unconscious the problems in unconscious mind. The classification of projective, there are five classification for projective technique. They are constructive technique, constitutive technique, cathartic technique, interpretive, and refractive technique. In constructive technique, examinee demanded to create frame a structure by showing the pictures like house, tree, person, etc. Next is constitutive technique. In constitutive technique, making structure with unstructured framework. Next is cathartic. Here is it is the technique by which we can release the feeling of the examinee. And in interpretative technique, detailed meaning to given situation is given by the examinee. Then refractive technique, it is the technique by which we can depict the personality of a person by drawing, painting, etc. Here, the handwriting is also used to assess one's personality. So the personality assessment techniques are interviews, projective techniques, and associative techniques, and expressive techniques. In interviews, there are structural and unstructured questions, and limitations of interview are prejudice and halo effect. In projective techniques, it is a technique by which we can analyze the unconscious mind. The techniques used are constructive technique, constitutive technique, cathartic technique, interpretive technique, and refractive technique. The limitations of this technique are it is subjective, examiner influence, and the third one is no meaningful theories, and poor predictable ability. Here in the associative technique, their responses are given by the examinee by seeing or listening the stimuli. Example, word association test. So the methods of personality assessment are interview, that is structured and unstructured questions. Limitations is prejudice and halo effect. Next is projective technique, that is the unconscious mind revealed by this technique. They are constructive, constitutive, cathartic, interpretative, and refractive technique. Limitations of this technique are it is subjective, examiner influence, no meaningful theories, poor prejudice, predictable ability. Then next is associative technique. In associative technique, the responses given by the examinee towards a stimuli is analyzing. Example is word association test. So this is the important question of Block 1 Unit 3 of mpc003.